Today we're going to talk a little bit about origami. You can think of origami as basically like a very low resolution version of like 3D modeling. And that's how we're going to think about it, right? So we have this thing, right, that's been created by shapes. Depending on the type of origami, they might be more flat, they might be more 3D. This one can stand a little bit, so it's 3D-ish. It's not great, but it's okay. All right. The next part that I wanted to use origami for was also talking about how we can decorate it, right? And then how when you unfold it, that decoration relates to a flat surface, right? So that flat surface is not only becoming the 3D model, which is not exactly true with 3D graphics for polygons, but that surface is then being projected in certain ways to create the visuals that we see, right? And that's kind of what I want to talk about a little bit. All right, so the cat is made up of two different pieces of origami, or two different low poly 3D things, however you want to think about them. All right, I have already sort of drawn out where some of these lines are related to what we actually see. So this is the head, and this is his face, right? And that's this section here, right? So I tried to kind of give you a few anchor points so you can kind of see like this is around where the eyes are and around where the nose is. And then from there, you can decorate it how you want. In the corners, we have an ear here and an ear here, all right? That's these parts, all right? So I'm gonna go ahead and unfold his head. I taped it on just so that way it would stay. And I kind of want to show you how that relates to the fold here. All right, so we have the head here, okay? If I unfold it, then you can see how it compares to the original. All right, so the head is pretty much, or the face is pretty much the same, but the ears, do be aware that the part going this way, or going this way on this example, is towards the body, right? And the tip, the point is the tip on the actual ears. So if I refold this really quickly, it's pretty fast and easy once it's actually already been folded, right? We can see how that relates, right? So this part here is the part going towards the head, and the tips on the paper are the tips up there, which it got cut off a little bit because of the Xerox machine, but you get the idea, right? It gives you an anchor point sort of, right? So when you're coloring yours, you probably want to color past this line, right? Color past the line. So that way, if it doesn't stay like super close to it and it comes out a little bit, you don't all of a sudden have a big white gap there or a white edge. And that's what we do with actual 3D as well. When we're making these UV maps, we call them, we typically color past where the edge is going to be, just in case there's any like little glitches or whatever. If the map gets slightly off in its calibration, or if a little bit more of the map shows than expected, then we don't necessarily have to redo everything, right? Or we don't have to go back in and redo anything, right? So that's pretty standard. So you should do that with yours as well. And then here is the body part. And if I unfold this, most of this is actually shown when it becomes 3D, right? So this is the body here. This is the tail. The tip is over here. The part that goes to the body is here. This would be the area that would not be shown if everything is perfect. Again, I would color into it, just so that way if there is a little bit of an edge showing through, you don't all of a sudden have a big white gap there, right? Once we fold it, right here again, we have that. So there'd be a line here as well. This line would go all the way across. I didn't dot it there. I don't remember why I didn't. Maybe I just forgot. And this is sort of his back, right? And this is the bottom of the body, right? You'd have little legs or something here, which I do kind of like this. How you do it is up to you, all right? And so that gives you the idea, okay? Again, I would also color past all the edges at least a little bit. That way, if there's any like alignment issues or your folds are not perfectly accurate, it won't be noticeable.